Welcome to the last part of this blind Let's Play The Witcher 2 Enhanced Edition. I'm not saying the last video because I don't know what to expect, but we are close to the end. We are in the epilogue, even that the quests are listed in the chapter 3. We are to meet Letho, who also is holding Triss, and perhaps we will find out what Letho has in mind, what was his plan. I'm not expecting to hear the truth, but maybe we'll learn something. Maybe we'll learn something about Geralt's past.
When we're done with you, you'll be a lump of whimpering meat. Elf! Killed a non-human.
Racists. Are you okay, sorceress?
Beasts! Bloody sons of bitches!
Will you be all right?
Yes, thank you. Leave me.
What happened here?
When the summit ended, we hid in one of the houses, but they found us. They cut off both my sister's hands so she wouldn't cast spells, but I managed to escape. They caught me here.
Let's go, Gwynblade. This is madness. Lochmuin has changed. That's what it looks like now.
Yes, indeed, it has changed. And I'm not very surprised that we are seeing an end like this in The Witcher 2. No happy endings, no flowers and happy songs.
I think I heard something.
Imperial troops. Long live the Emperor!
Ha! I'll show you what I think of the Emperor.
Die, dog!
Nope, it'll be you who bites the dust. Double Quensign, always a smart thing.
Taste our steel! Die, Nordling!
Hit him, Earbeth.
Die, Nordling!
That was close. Good fight, Earbeth. Looks like there's more. Oh, shooting crossbow at me. I didn't even notice. Ha! I wonder if I got hit by that.
Long live the Emperor!
Oh no, 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 no.
Finish your story.
I managed to sneak into the Nilfgaardian camp. It was relatively quiet there. Then I saw Letho leading Triss out.
They let him go?
No one dared stop him. I followed him. I think he noticed me, but didn't seem to care. Once the fighting died down, he went to the former Temerian camp.
Is Triss all right?
Yes. Letho defended her from marauders.
Wonder at what point I need to drink my potions if I want to drink them. I think this is a... Okay, I can't rest. Fine, I will drink the potions now then. Although I'm more interested in hearing what Letho has to say than fight him. Very interested in hearing what he has to say about the Wild Hunt and Geralt being a rider of the Wild Hunt. Oh jeez. Wow. Wow. Only in The Witcher 2. Only in this game. I'm sure the next battle will be hard enough. With full health, if there is a fight at hand. So I'm hoping to get my health back up. That's enough. There's Letho and there's Triss.
Stop, Yorvith. I'm going alone.
Why?
This is between the two of us. Take care of Triss until I return.
Your choice.
Mine, indeed. There's one more thing you need to know. Nilfgaard's armies have crossed the Yaruga. War is inevitable.
Vafail, Gwynblade. Don't get killed.
Farewell, Yorvith. If I don't return within the hour, find Saskia and leave without me. Are you all right?
Yes. He saved me from the Nilfgaardians and defended me from the troops.
It's time to end this. Yorvith's waiting. I'll catch up with you soon.
Geralt, he knows a lot.
I know, Triss. That's why we need to talk.
Don't get killed, Witcher.
I won't.
All the quests done. Here I must reproach our hero. Geralt had been intent on freeing Triss and dragged her with immense effort, but in the end he failed in this task. In truth, the sorceress's kidnapper had freed her in his stead. You should know that Letho, Letho capable at times of mindless cruelty and often undiscriminating in the means he employed, had no personal quarrel with Marigold. He had abducted her when he needed to, but as the tale of the assassins of kings came to close, he decided he could afford to be generous and freed the sorceress from the Black Ones. Thus, blinded by his obsession of catching Letho, the Witcher met Triss somewhat by chance, safe and unharmed. He immediately told her to stand aside, for at the moment he was interested in only one person, the Kingslayer. And if I might add, more interested in what the Kingslayer has to say. And what are all the things he knows about Geralt. City was in chaos, sorcerers were pursued and murdered, factions clashed, all vestiges of the civility had been abandoned, there was no way peace talks or ballet would resume. Even Geralt, or perhaps especially he, had to defend himself from attackers. However, nothing could stop the Witcher from reaching the Kingslayer. The Witcher finally found the Kingslayer. Triss Marigold ran to Geralt, having been freed from the Nilfgaardian's hands by Letho. Geralt was happy, don't get me wrong, but at the moment his desire to confront the Kingslayer eclipsed all others. The Witcher told his companions that he had private business to attend to, forbade interference, and went to see Letho.
Took you a while?
Is that bauble from Sheila's megascope?
Mm-hmm. My final prank. I switched the diamonds. The one in the megascope has a flaw. Minute. But just large enough to warp the teleport. The Emperor's magic theorists assured me the effect would be spectacular.
I let her escape.
You're heartless. You've no idea what the royal witch hunters have in store for her. A lot of pain for a long time.
I don't doubt it. So, ready to lay your cards out on the table?
No matter the game, there comes a point when all the players need to show their cards. I love that moment. But first, vodka.
Sure.
I suppose my throat's a little dry.
In that case, let's drink to old friendships. Recovered your memory yet?
Not entirely.
Remember how we first met?
Yeah, I saved your life. Couldn't think of a nicer way to pay me back?
Frankly, I couldn't. I mean, taking care of another man's woman, Yennefer. I can't fathom what you saw in her, but I suppose there's no accounting for taste.
The winter solstice 1270. Midinvern, the night of magic. Letho wasn't lying, the hunt had stopped. At the Hanged Man's Tree, the spectral riders selected from among those they had taken. Yennefer was among them. A wraith cannot be killed, only driven away. Every Witcher knows that. Yet the riders fell beneath the blows of our Witcher's blades. Crimson blood flowed from under their dead men's armor. We could not kill them all. They were simply too many. A stalemate. He was different from all other elves. There was no shame in his gaze. He had never suffered persecution. He had endured no massacres. Humans had not taken his land. This elf was not of this world. He was an invader. We struck a deal. My soul for that of Yennefer. He agreed without hesitation.
Back with me, friend. Got the feeling you left for a minute.
Memories. I remember the Hanged Man's Tree and the wild hunt. I remember the exchange. Me for Yennefer.
So, cards out on the table. Unless you chase me all that way just to kill me.
I chased you for lots of reasons. You owe me some explanations to start with.
Let's say I do.
Well, I'm happy I have a chance to talk here.
Tell me about Yennefer. What happened after I departed?
She was feverish for several days, delirious, in agony. We thought that was it. She was on her way out. Somehow she recovered. But even then she was disoriented. Amnesia like you.
What then?
Well, the woman turned out to be quite a character. Throwing temper tantrums, trying to seduce orcs, trying to drive a wedge between us. After you so nobly sacrificed yourself, we thought it'd be dumb just to leave her somewhere. She wouldn't have survived more than a month. The whims and vigor of a duchess, but she was just a sorceress with no memory. We were in the heart of the Empire. And as I'm sure you know, Geralt, in Nilfgaard, mages who behave like that either drop their bad habits quickly, or are drawn and quartered by horses in the middle of Victory Square.
So I heard.
So we set out, wandered through the provinces. Everywhere we went, she got in trouble and we pulled her out. And then one day they captured us. The Imperial Secret Police. Me, Ox, Sarah, and Yennefer.
Imperial Secret Police?
Mm-hmm. We were separated, and they questioned us. Long and thoroughly, but it was uneventful, no violence. That's how I met Vatia de Rideau, and a couple of weeks later, the Emperor himself. Me. A simple witcher.
What happened to Yennefer?
I don't know. Never saw her again. The Emperor offered me a mission in the northern kingdoms. As for Yennefer, I had the feeling she was somehow important to Emir. As I see it, they learned of the lodge from her. Those Imperial spooks have their ways. All I heard is that Vatir had his men watch Yennefer closely throughout the time she was at the palace. Then we went off to slay the kings of the north. That's where my knowledge ends.
So she's in the Empire?
She was when I left.
Sheila told me the same.
How did you know where we'd find the Wild Hunt?
Every witcher who wears the viper around his neck knows the place. We had so many books and scrolls about the hunt that I used to think our school was founded for the very purpose of solving the riddle of the spectral riders.
Know who they are? You know the true identities of the riders?
From what I understand, they're some damn elven race. But they turned out to be a big ruse. The legendary omen of war proved to be a fairground attraction.
No Market Square mage could possibly conjure up a cavalcade of wraiths speeding across the sky. Then there's the amnesia. No, there's something more, I assure you.
Go ahead, enlighten me. I can tell you want to.
There are a lot of legends and myths about it, but the Wild Hunt is a fact. I've fought and killed many of its wraiths. They were spectral emanations, the avatars of real riders. The riders we ran into by the Hanged Man's Tree.
Are you telling me you were carried off by elves? Real material sons of bitches like the ordinary kind we deal with in this world?
They may be ordinary in their world, but they're strangers in ours. The conjunction of spheres. Know the theory? Do you know how monsters appeared in our world?
There's not a witcher who doesn't know that.
So you know there are other spheres. The most powerful of our mages can open passages between these worlds, and they usually do that to summon the monsters we then have to hunt. The elves we saw come from another world, and they weren't summoned. They found the way on their own. It's not exactly easy, so they usually send their spectral emanations. They come in person on special missions.
As they did for you and Yennefer. So, elves from another world and their trained wraiths. What did they want from you?
I've got an idea, but that's not your concern.
Yeah, from what we learned, or what I learned, from the secrets of Loch Muin, the quest added into Enhanced Edition. At the time I was playing, I didn't know it was added in this one, but now I know. And what I learned from Cynthia was that Geralt, if it is true, it was Imperial reports, but if it is true, Geralt was a rider of the Wild Hunt, hinting that Geralt came from that other world as well, just like Yennefer. And the Wild Hunt came after him and her to get them back. It's quite complicated. I'm not sure if I actually got it right, but it's very fascinating history and story.
How did a Witcher agree to kill humans at another human's bidding?
At the Emperor's bidding, Geralt. And he's no ordinary human. The rulers of the North come up to about where his Pauline's end.
Why?
Simple. He promised to rebuild the School of the Viper, the Witcher's order where I came to be. Witcher's schools in the south fell into ruin long ago, and Witchers themselves became internal exiles, banned from entering most cities. Besides Seret and Ox, I know of 2 other Witchers of the School of the Viper who should be alive and on the path. I don't know where they are. Haven't seen them for years. Now they can come out of hiding. They can come home.
Why are you still here? Why did you wait for me this time?
I knew you wouldn't give up. I knew you'd pursue me. And I don't aim to hide anymore. Fact is, only you know the truth about me, well, and a couple of folks whose word isn't worth spit anymore. I never saw you as a foe. I want to go my way, but if I have to fight you first, so be it. This story ends here and now.
Care to tell me what it was all about?
Kill as many rulers as we could. Lay the blame on the sorceresses. Breed chaos. Prepare the North. Soften it before the invasion. And you know what's incredible? We could not have imagined more fertile soil. No matter what the war's outcome, the northern monarchs will accuse one another. Pursue their God-given rights. Seek vengeance and be at each other's throats for years to come. The North resembles a whorehouse on fire, as your friend Dandelion would say.
Yeah, it's sorceresses had plenty to do with it, but in the end it was all Nilfgaardian doings of the Emperor.
Care to tell me what it was all...
Kill as many rulers as we could, and you know what's incredible? No matter what the war's outcome, the North resembles a whorehouse on fire.
Okay, so what's this option then? a whole lot more to discuss. It's a chance to wrap all things up. Why? Oh man.
Care to tell?
This, there's no way for me to know what of these options takes me back. So is those alright? Those ones with the dot take me to somewhere else. So I'm not gonna choose those.
How did you manage to contact Sheila?
It wasn't a problem once I learned of the Lodge's existence. Initially, she watched my every move. But sooner or later, everyone starts treating me like a big oaf. I mean, I can't change how I look. I stayed close to Sheila, killed a few beasts for her, and whined about how unhappy I was, how unfair the world was. So much, in fact, that I actually got her gander up a few times. I made sure a few potentially trustworthy witnesses saw us together, could link us. Security in case I was captured. I also prepared to assassinate the King of Kavir. Esterad Tyson was to be the first victim of the mysterious assassins. But before I could do the dirty deed, Sheila asked me to slay Demavend. The gods had smiled upon me. I couldn't believe my luck. Here I've been trying to figure out how to frame Sheila, and now all I needed was to carry out her orders and follow through.
Where'd you get your information about the Lodge?
From the Emperor and Vatir de Rideau, the Emperor's chief spy. And I believe they got it out of Yennefer.
She recovered her memory?
Nah. I'd never claimed she informed on her friends consciously. I expect they found a way to tap into her memory in spite of her amnesia, and without her knowing it. There was a sorcerer present when I was questioned. A young, proud intelligence officer. Whatever the case, they gave me a list of the sorceresses in the Lodge. Only Emir, Vatir, and I were present. Only we knew of the mission.
Yeah, from the intro movie we know how Letho killed Demavend, but I'm interested in the verbal story anyway.
How do you manage to slay Demavend?
Sheila's magic. I mean, she could give us the king's every move. His habits, the positions of the palace guards, anything. All we had to do was navigate the labyrinth and land the final blow. Besides, she had plenty of gold for the preparations. Greased palms abundantly. It had all the makings of a cakewalk. But it's never that easy. We barely avoided our pursuers. And we wouldn't have if not for Yorveth Scoia'tael, another of Sheila's ideas. With Yorveth's elves, not only did we cut down Demavend, but traveling with them put us out of the Lodge's reach. We could calmly plan Foltest's and Hensel's assassinations.
How did you know Foltest would come to the monastery's solar?
Yorveth and I planned Foltest's murder. The King of Temeria would have to deal with the Lavalette sooner or later, and he made no secret of it. I was sure he'd want to recover his bastard children in the process. And where do they take the children when a castle's under siege? I had to become a monk, but I couldn't just arrive at the monastery and claim I'd seen the light. Not very believable. So one of Arion's patrols out in the forests happened on a Scoia'tael unit torturing a helpless monk. Arion's brave men drove off the elves and I found shelter in the monastery.
No one noticed you had no wounds?
I paid the monk who treated me a lot of orange to stay silent. Actually, it was only a loan, because I killed him later. Only the dead can keep a secret. Then all I had to do was wait for the situation to develop. When I saw you enter the chamber with Foltest, I thought I might fail. Luckily, you failed. To recognize an old friend.
Yeah.
When did you decide to get rid of Yorvith?
As soon as I realized I couldn't manipulate him. A true fox, that one. He was so observant, so dangerous. I got the sense he might see through me at any moment.
You made a mistake. You were untouchable as long as the Scoia'tael were protecting you.
Maybe, but with Yorvith, my hands were tied. If I'd finished off Kieran...
But you didn't. And that allowed me to drive a wedge between you and Yorvith. I forced you to flee.
And I let you live. You know I could have killed you. You're forgetting.
No, I remember. So Sheila was looking for you when she came to Flotsam.
Mm-hmm. She thought she was still in control and wanted to get rid of me. I'd bet my eyes that she thought I'd lost my mind, or that Yorvith was manipulating me.
And the North descended deeper into chaos.
Exactly. There was just one problem. You. I could have killed you in the Elven ruins. Thing is, you weren't really my enemy.
True. You saved me. Saved me once.
You screwed up with Henselt.
Sabrina's curse tore that down. First off, we got holed up in that hideout in the ravines. Then Sheila showed up and started watching Henselt like he was her own ass. By that time, his death was no longer necessary. Fate had smiled upon us again. I learned of the summit and the efforts to reconstitute the council and conclave. The ideal setting for the mission's grand finale.
Yeah. Get all the sorceresses slayed. Get all the blame on them. I appreciate this chance to wrap up things. Talk with Letho, and it kind of makes sense because they are old friends, and Letho was just waiting here for Geralt. But with that said, I think if nothing else, to test their skills and for Geralt to follow through what he promised to do when Foltest died. Letho and Geralt need to fight the final fight.